us on Teams. That's our intention here. We normally do. We do hope you'll stay for the duration. We normally run about an hour, so we may be just a little bit late. Oh, okay. Okay. But if you can't stay through the entire presentation, it will be uploaded to our website. At least we know the slides will be, and hopefully it will be a recording. It will be uploaded by the end of the week. And of course, then you can review it at your when convenient for you and share it as well. And please, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. We will certainly want to go through those questions as you have them. So here's our agenda today. As always, can we move slide, Roger? Yep, there we go. Next slide. As always, of course, main reason we want to do this is to give you updates on the past quarter and also share with you what's coming up in the current quarter, which is actually fourth quarter of fiscal year 2025, all wrapping up on September 30. We've hosted some, Roger, I think we still need to move. Next slide for the agenda. Oh, maybe back. There you go. There you go. You got ahead of me. But just quickly, so we'll give you those updates. We've done a lot of destination previews this year. We'll continue to. We do appreciate all your support for these FAMs. They're so effective. I think they're probably the most effective thing that we do, showcasing the destination. So Roger's going to share with you some best practices for participating in FAMs. We're going to take a quick look at some of the current co-op campaigns. I always like to share what we're doing to support all of our, face-to-face and relationships, but also creating campaigns literally around the globe. So we'll just take a peek at those. And then you're going to get a sneak peek at our plans for fiscal year 2026. Hassan's going to update us on the Lauderdale Loyalist Program and Passport, the happenings and numbers with that. And as I mentioned earlier, we always like to give Ted some time to give us all his numbers. And with that said, let's start with Latin America. So, yep, team updates. And in Caitlin's absence, I'm going to present Latin America for you. WTM Latin America, we were there in April. We had 25 plus prearranged appointments made by our in-country rep, Kawe. Honestly, I've done the show quite a few times, many times actually. This was the busiest I've ever seen it, including any time pre-pandemic. High energy. We did have partners with us. And I will tell you, there was strong interest in Florida in spite of the global and economic uncertainty. They love shopping here. And of course, there was a lot of interest in the World Cup 2026 in our new football guide that we created that is, in fact, in Portuguese. Caitlin continues to do webinars. Great way to continue to train. We do have our Lauderdale Loyalist in Spanish. And so she continues to do that in Mexico, Colombia, Argentina, Peru. We trained over 350 agents in the last quarter. Just a mute. Anybody else hearing that? FAMs, we've hosted a Brazilian influencer who was sponsored by U.S. Travel, who was attending IPW 2025, and she chose to come here to Broward County prior to IPW. It was great. We also hosted a group, the Azul Viagens, that included Kawe. It was 14 Brazilians came here. So some of you got to meet Kawe. And Avia reps, they represent us in South America. And they continue to do quite a bit of training on our behalf as well. So you can see quite a few people have been trained in Argentina, Colombia, and Brazil. And many times these are right in front of our most important tour operators in those countries. Going forward, next slide. Coming up, Caitlin will be participating in Brain USA, Argentina, and Chile sales mission in August next month. And then the Brazilian sales mission, that's our own. We are taking partners with us. And that's in September. We do have some FAMs coming up. I'm kind of dipping into next fiscal here, but just so you know, this information is going to be coming out to you soon. Looking for support. These are some of our top operators in Brazil that we'll be working with. And of course, our reps continue to support us in attending different events, FEAT, the Brand USA Columbia, Royal Caribbean trainings, and some other operator trainings. And with that, I believe I'm turning it over to Paul. Next slide.
Oh, he's muted.
I'm on mute. It's a little different with this version. Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Mason, and I represent EME and Canada. And the third quarter was incredibly busy for us, especially in those regions. Kind of give you a brief outline as to where things are. A couple of things with the FAMs that we did. We had two major FAMs with us. One was with Lieb. It was a global FAM, and with that, we had the Netherlands, Germany, Italy, and France with us. Thank you again to the partners that participated in the Lieb Global FAM, as well as the Brand USA Mega FAM, which was Italy and Swiss tour operators. Again, great time with them. A big thank you to all of the operators that came, as well as all of the partners that did participate with us. And I'll talk about on the next slide coming up, a future FAM that we would love you to participate as well in. A couple of the shows, and two that I really want to talk about first before IPW, were both in Canada. One was Virtuoso on Tour. With Virtuoso on Tour, we literally conducted 70 plus appointments for Virtuoso travel agents. Good partnership with Brand USA while they were there as well. We sponsored the breakfast for all of the attendees at the conference. And quite honestly, I am so glad that we did attend not only just Virtuoso on Tour, but also the Brand USA Canada Connect mission, which took place a month later in Toronto and Montreal. The word is really good out there in terms of the tour operators and travel agents from Canada. They are still excited about coming to the United States, and things are still looking up, especially for our region. As you know, obviously, there are a lot of ties here, generational ties, and people that just want to get away from the cold weather. So things are still looking very, very positive with Canada, Montreal, and Toronto. The next program that we did was the UK Sales and Training Mission. Also in Dublin, we spent 2 weeks there, Tracy and I. We had a Hoblo event, which we'll talk about in more depth with Brittany coming up. But literally a week in Dublin, a week in the UK. We held several training programs for tour operators and their agents, as well as hosting a few dinners and events. And again, the word out there is still very, very positive, especially in the UK and Ireland. And in sitting down with the Discover America Visit USA Ireland, the ties are too strong. The Irish will continue to come. The numbers are strong and they are good. And again, a mission that we feel very good about. We'll be going back, and we'll talk about that in the next slide, to Brand USA Travel Week in the UK in October to kind of still promote and get ready for IPW in 26. And then last but not least, IPW 2025 in Chicago. I want to do a big shout out to all of our partners that did attend, both in the shared appointments as well as the 10 by 10 booths. We had a delegation of over 40 people. We're going to talk in greater depth about that, not just today, but also in our partner program in August. But again, an amazing time to get ready for IPW 26. We had over 190 actual appointments in our booth. That does not include public relations, media, marketing, the marketplace floor, as well as our activation center. And next slide, please. And this is my lighter season. The last quarter is always a little bit light for me. We have our Orlando sales mission coming up next week. We have 4 partners that will be joining us. We have 9 plus appointments, and we have our client event, which will be held at Pinstripes. We'll probably have about 25 tour operators and agents coming out to enjoy the festivities, a small presentation. And then we have the Hoblo 5th year anniversary FAM, which is coming up. That'll be in September. Again, more about Hoblo with Brittany while I turn the show over to Brittany. But again, we'll be asking for your partner support. It'll be probably coming out, I want to say the end of this week or the first week of August. The dates are September 8th through September 11th. They are bringing tour operators and travel agents from the UK and Ireland. The UK and Ireland, as well as a Norse representative who they will be flying over for the program itself. And on that note, I'm going to turn over to Brittany so that she can present about Hoblo.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you to the Global Travel Trade Team for inviting me on. My name is Brittany Lum. For those of you that do not know me, I am the Partner Engagement Specialist over at Visit Lauderdale. And I am very excited about this opportunity. So this is Hablo. Some of you may be aware of it. Roger, if you want to go to the next slide. So what is Hablo? If you go to the next slide, it will kind of tell you a little bit about it. But Hablo basically acts as an online dedicated platform connecting you to travel agents and travel operators to basically provide an advertising and marketing at no cost. So you can create videos, photos, audios to connect with different travel agents and operators. So basically, Hablo is a next generation online platform really connecting you with the UK, Ireland, and South America travel agents. If you want to go to the next slide, Roger. So yes, basically Hablo's latest online tool allows you to use these effective tools. So similar to our social media online platforms that we use for our internal uses, it is a way for you to connect with those travel operators and travel agents. Roger, next slide. So this is an amazing new opportunity for those of you guys who are already on Hablo, or if you guys are interested. Visit Lauderdale partners can create an organization page specific to your business and partner with our Visit Lauderdale team. So this gives you an opportunity to connect with our community, and I think we're at like around 6,000 followers.
Oh yeah, at least.
That you guys can automatically engage directly with and allow them to connect with you directly through different images and photos and different things like that. And then next slide, I believe it's a little video. Roger, I think you might need to have.
It's okay.
Oh.
Can you see the video, just not hear the sound?
Sound should be coming up soon.
An exclusive opportunity for you to educate and engage with the thousands of travel advisors that Visit Lauderdale have amassed over the last 3 years on the platform.
It's so simple to get set up on Hablo, and once you are, you'll be able to post your organization content directly into Visit Lauderdale's community, and they're ready and waiting to learn and engage with you. Your educational content will hit the homepage feed of travel advisors from all across the market, from home workers, frontline retail travel advisors, to sales agents from the biggest tour operators in the region. And they love learning all there is to know about Greater Fort Lauderdale. And best of all, this is a completely free opportunity for you to efficiently and effectively access one of the largest source markets to Florida. So contact the Visit Lauderdale partner team to get set up today.
To also kind of point out some things that Brittany did bring up, and also the video just actually brought up, it is a completely free program to all of our partners. Hablo and our team can also help you get set up, get connected with everyone that is on the Hablo platform. Hablo has been a great partner of ours for the last 4+ years. Their 5-year anniversary fam, they could have thought of no other place but here to bring their top tour operators that actually won this reward through the quizzes that they offer every day to tour operators on their platform. And those that did win a trip here and all feature us in their portfolios and their itineraries. So at the end of the day, it is a completely free program, one that we highly recommend to you, especially to get ready for IPW 26. Again, a lot of the tour operators that will be coming from the UK, Ireland, as well as Europe will be coming to IPW. They're on this platform. So a great way to reach out to them ahead of time as well. So if you have any questions, please reach out to myself and Brittany, and we'll get you all started with Hablo.
Thanks, guys.
I think that means it's my turn. So
Good, how are you?
Who are you?
I'm trying to.
Okay, sorry. So I'm going to go over what we've done domestically for April through June. So we did have a very busy quarter in the domestic world. So Cruise Planners Boot Camp, we do a lot with Cruise Planners. They're our hometown, one of our hometown host agencies here based in the greater Fort Lauderdale area. And we went up to Orlando to do their boot camp. Last year, I did their boot camp out in Vegas. So just kind of alternating where we connect with their franchisee owners. It was both a hot seat on stage and a trade show. Cruise 360, many of you were able to attend that either with your own little groups or in our booth. We had 4 partners joining us with Port Everglades. Always a great show through CLIA and bringing in all of their majority of people that are planning cruises. Then I went out to ASTA's annual conference in Salt Lake City, Utah. Never been to Salt Lake City in my life, but I got to go twice within 3 weeks this year. So now I'm very familiar with Salt Lake City. Their annual trade show moves around throughout the US, and it's again a trade show with lots of networking. We also hosted a education session, like introducing the education session so we could show our message and get our highlights out. Cruise Planners, again, their Star University is held at our Broward County Convention Center about every 2 or 3 months. Hassan usually heads up going to those. Again, it's a table, just kind of making sure we push out Lauderdale loyalists and they know that we're here to help them with all of their cruising and vacation needs in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Coming here locally, we attended the ASTA Spring Affair. This is held every year in Deerfield. We were able to take 2 partners for afternoon networking and a trade show. And then they pull in mostly all of the Tri-County travel advisors. We also do a lot with them for their holiday event, and I will actually be at their event this evening, hosted at the Beach House by Hilton. So we do engage with them quite a bit. Then we picked back up our JetBlue travel agent call center trainings. Again, one in Salt Lake City and then one in Orlando. So those were great that all of their advisors come in to get trained on destinations. If you have a hotel contract with JetBlue, you can attend as well to give them your information and update them on how to best sell your property. So we took these off last year because the timing didn't work out, but we were very happy to re-engage with them this year, get them back into our schedule. We then turned around, this is a little out of order here, we then turned around and then did travel agent FAM for 11 of their travel advisors and home teams. So we were out in the destination, they saw all of the hotels they have contracted, got to see some of our attractions, as you see down here on the photo. We went out to the Everglades. They're always a great group, very appreciative, and they love learning about our destination. I then also attended the Visit Florida Domestic Sales Mission. This year it was hosted in Boston and then over into Philadelphia. We did various events with them. One was a marketplace where they kind of got to go and like shop around on a little like farmer stand. You'll see down here, we did cycle bar class with them. They played all these videos of cycling through Florida, which was a really cool activation that they put on. We took them out on a boat when we were in Boston. So just lots of very busy 3 days and lots of engagement with travel advisors in a market that we see a lot of people come through. Unique Travel of Delray is a Virtuoso agency. We met them at Virtuoso here at when they hosted their regional, and she requested us coming up and doing a full training with all of her agents at their office. So if you were a Virtuoso hotel, you were invited to come up with me, and we hosted them for lunch and learn for about an hour, and it was really great to get them engaged because lots of people don't even know what's going on in their backyard. And then last but definitely not least was the Signature Travel Regional Conference. This was hosted at LAX at a hotel there, and stage time, trade show, appointments, Again, last year we did the Chicago market, and then switching it up this year, we did the LA market. They do 3 a year, LA, Chicago, and then they host one here as well. Unfortunately, it was one where at IPW, so we did not get to engage with them in person. We did help them with a couple other things though while they were here. Coming up, I get to take a breather for a second. Cruise Planners Luxury Forum is our last thing we're doing with them in this fiscal year. Hassan and Tracy are actually going down to the Dominican Republic to do that trade show, and they'll have speaking time on stage and a trade show, lots of networking as well. And then Delta Vacations University, they went to an every other year format. So this year they're hosting that in Atlanta. And so we are taking 2 partners with us to that. It is sold out, and we're excited to go and engage with Delta Vacations again. And I've been tasked with just kind of going through our FAM best practices with everybody as well. We've had a lot of FAMs over the past few months, and we definitely have a lot coming up. And we're very excited about that. It's best to get them in our destination. Once they're here, we know that they are always impressed. They always go home with hidden gems to tell their clients about. Great hotel properties, great connectivity, and ease of getting around here. So I'm not going to read through each and every one of them, but just to give you guys some ideas, and if you're newer to the travel trade or tour operator world, just understanding what they're wanting to look for when they're here. So it's always good to know your audience. You can always ask us for clarification if I know we'll use a lot of acronyms, or you might not know what JetBlue, their travel advisors are looking for. So you can always ask us for that clarification. If we come to you and want you to be on our itinerary, or you come to us asking, just do a little research or ask us. Do not show meeting space unless it's requested. The majority of our clients are not looking for meeting space. You may have some onesies and twosies that do like small destination weddings or retreats or something, but for the most part, it's not something that we need to utilize our time with them, because I know a lot of you always joke with me that I'm like keeping you guys on a time, because we really want to make sure all of our partners get adequate time. So if we're showing meeting space, it can kind of bog down sometimes the time we have with you. Know your plan, what rooms, all of that good stuff. Usually you guys always have your rooms like keys ready, so that's always great, but just keep that up. Scheduling extra time for picture taking. This was new to me in this golden age of all of the social media and all of that. But they always want to take those selfies if there's a cool wall at your hotel, or obviously down at our beloved Margaritaville, that flip-flop always has to have a selfie in front of it. But those can sometimes take time, especially if they want individual ones or group ones. So just make sure we're putting in time for that as well. Know your product, obviously, what the commissional rates are, group rates, travel agent rates, and that sort of thing, because they will ask those questions, and you don't want to be caught off guard. I mean, the FAM I just hosted, there was one person that asked every single property what their average or length of stay was, which is, I mean, it was just an interesting question that she asked, but she wanted to know. And then just a few more, like be social, make sure they know your social handles if you have social handles specifically for your business or any of your outlets. For food options, it's best always to offer an a la carte or a buffet, just not giving them too many options, because they'll sit there and pontificate, or they'll order appetizers and dinner and dessert, and we might not have time for all of that, or we may be having dessert at a different hotel because that's what we communicated, and we don't want to overfeed them. Sometimes we end up overfeeding them on FAMs, and then stuff gets wasted, and then you feel bad there too. Mindful giveaways. Again, not over gifting. It's always nice to give them a little something. They do really appreciate that. But if every single person gives them a water bottle, they don't need that many water bottles. So again, just maybe be a little bit more mindful, or if it's a food item that's unique to your area, or just like a cookie and a little takeaway so they have it late night, that's always good too. And then last not least, bringing out your storytellers. Again, you see a picture here with our mermaids at our beautiful Bee Ocean. So that tells their story better than anybody. It's unique, it's quirky, and the travel agents really, really liked it. So anything that you can have to help bring that out. We are working globally, so if you have a staff that speaks the language that they're going to be preferring, it's nice to always include them too. And then revealing your best kept secrets. So if there is something unique about your property or your attraction that is, you can give them the little inside scoop. That's always great as well. I know if some of you know me, I like to theme my films. So like if it's going to be my most recent one was it's a jungle out there. So if you have something fun that's in that theme, or I mean down to like we went to one of our hotels that have jungle wallpaper, and they're like, "You thought that, didn't you?" And I was like, "Yes, I did. I thought about that." So just trying to roll out the red carpet and make everything as unique as we can when we're showcasing our destination.
Thank you, Roger. I just want to make a quick point about the FAMs. I like to say that our travel advisors are the original influencers. They definitely influence their clients. So the social media and the picture taking is so important. We find particularly our FAMs that come up from South America, the Latin American FAMs, they have so many followers. So when they're doing this, they're doing outreach to so many clients. And I think we're seeing that really across the board. So cannot say enough about us being able to bring people here. It is we're influencing the biggest influencers, in my opinion. So trade co-ops, in the interest of time, I'm just going to show these quickly. Just a reminder to all of you, when we're meeting with these buyers and these programs that you just saw us that we participated in, we are also negotiating and working with them to do campaigns in country, in language, to their clients. So B2B to C, in many cases, sometimes B2B. But just to give you an example, this is some of what's happening now or just happened in the last quarter. Different operators, Sunway in Ireland, Gold Medal in the UK, Mercado and Eventos, Lauderdale, these Latin America. So you can see we're busy creating and strategizing to make sure that our messaging is getting out there beyond the face-to-face that we do. Next slide. The fiscal year 2026 coming up starts October 1. Of course, we'll be participating in IPW 2026 program. This is the team that always benefits from this program. We always attend this program, had over 200 appointments this year. I just want to give you a quick overview of where we are in the planning stages of this. Olivia Smith is overseeing the planning. She's our meeting planner in-house here, working with the convention center team as well. She has done a spectacular job of spreading the work that needs to be done, because one person can't do it. So everybody under the roof here at Visit Lauderdale is involved. We have quarterly hands-on meetings to review who's doing what. We've got somebody in charge of transportation, the off nights, fans. Roger, of course, took that one on. So the whole team is involved here. We do meet quarterly. We present to each other. So it's coming along beautifully. So just know that, and in fact, U.S. Travel is in town today and tomorrow. They have a new meeting planner, and she's actually here to see our beautiful, as they're calling it, our campus. They're calling our convention center the campus, because we're going to utilize all the space. It's going to be a nice, cozy IPW. So if you're looking to where you can get involved, I'm stealing these slides from Olivia, but we're still working hard on the opening and closing events. Absolutely going to be opportunities for you to be involved there. Look for marketing opportunities for yourself when the show is here. How you can get your messaging out, where you can actually get some visuals, participate in our Show Your Badge program. And then, of course, looking at the events that we already have, or looking at things that you might be able to do during some of that off times, how you can be involved. We are working with several different organizations that are going to do some big events on the open evenings. Also work with your municipalities, or making sure that we understand what construction issues are and things like that. But anything you can share with us, we want you to be involved. We want everybody to be a Lauderdale loyalist. We are working now, Olivia is, on creating an ambassador program as well. So we want everybody here to know about IPW so they can welcome everyone, whether it's a taxi driver, restaurant staff, and so forth. And of course, we don't have the QR code here, but do sign up, do check in with us. Nikki's in charge of all the volunteers. She's doing a great job to get all that out. So be on the lookout for the ambassador training program. It will be out later this fall. And so that's our biggest program. So let's take a quick look. This is a sneak peek of 2026. Again, as it starts in October, all of our budgeting is still in the approval process. So nothing's set clearly in stone just at this moment, but we feel pretty good about this. So I just want to tell you a little bit of our strategy. Going into IPW, we, Visit Lauderdale, is responsible with or in cooperation with U.S. Travel to bring in the buyers and media. Somebody needs to mute, please. Thank you. And we get some say in where we are targeting. And it's been interesting in working with U.S. Travel to talk about the markets that we want to bring in. And of course, Latin America is very, very important to us. And interesting enough, the last 2 years, the last two host cities, Chicago and LA, it wasn't a focus for them. So we think we're going to get great response. But you can see here, we're looking at, so when I say pre-IPW, between October and February, I told the team, we're going to go in and our strategy and our efforts are solely at getting in front of our buyers that we want here. And so that's what you're going to see. You're not going to see that we're going to be doing some travel agent direct because they're not coming for IPW. And you're not going to see us doing some consumer direct prior to IPW. So you can see we've got some missions planned to make sure we get in Central America, Colombia, Mexico, Peru. We'll be in Fitur, which is in Spain. We're actually participating in Visit Florida's Florida Huddle, where they bring in buyers from around the globe as well. And then post IPW, that's where we're going to be looking at campaigns, and then we'll be going back into some of our normal kind of, are we going to do some things, whether with the agents direct to get in some trainings to the agents and so forth. And also through all of this, we're working with the Visit USA organizations and all of our target markets. That's one of the best means for us to get messaging out. So some of these programs, US Travel is going with us. So let's flip over now to, I believe, Canada and Europe. We are doing some what may look like some one-offs, but they're not. We have this opportunity we're going to take advantage of to introduce ourselves into some new markets, get them here for IPW. IPW will get them here, US Travel will. And then we know they're going to love it. So we are going to do Nordic this year, Travel Week that we've been doing with Brand USA. It's in London, but it is continental Europe as well. India, I did India last year. We'll do India again. Great opportunity there. This is new. We're going to work with the Brand USA Australia, New Zealand mission, also in conjunction with Visit USA there and IMM, which is the company that puts on all the media. So we're planning on this as well. Again, we've already mentioned Huddle and IITA is all the receptives. And then again, Visit USA is to Discover America. We'll continue to do some marketing through them, get in front of them as well. And then Paul will do his Orlando sales mission. And Virtuoso will come back on board where we're talking to the agents. And again, that's after IPW. So keep in mind, our focus between October and February is getting in front of our buyers, who are the tour operators. And then a little bit different on the domestic side, but we still do actually, we're still out there and about and doing more of that agent and tour operator as well. So you can see here, Cruise World, Cruise Planners. We've talked a lot about this. AAA Threads will be new for us. The national conference with AAA. We're doing some stuff, campaigns with the national AAA too, which I love. Signature we do. Asta South Florida, the Travel and Adventure Show. Those will be February. We'll be in NYC, Chicago, and DC. Cruise 360 is always great opportunity for us right here in our own convention center. ASTA, JetBlue again, that's always so popular. We'll be in the Carolinas, New England, and again, working with Visit Florida. So that's a sneak peek. We don't have dates here, but know that, our first goal here is to get our buyers here. I tell everybody it's like a massive fam, right? From buyers from around the world. And now I'm going to turn it over to Hassan.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for your patience and the quick pivot this morning. And I'd like to first start off by saying that I want to officially nominate the word pontificate as the word of the day, Roger. Appreciate it. So quick update here. So we continue to have a growing presence with the Loyalist program. We're off our fam frenzy, as you know. We had GTM in town. So we had, as you know, all of our FAMs and conventions that come in, they're required to join the Lauderdale Loyalist program. Our top countries continue to be the United States, of course, UK, Canada, Colombia, and Germany. To date, we have just under 6,000 registered loyalists and just under 400 VIP passports issued. So there'll be more on the next slide about that. And we are always constantly looking for, more partners to help join. And also, just as a side note, we will be introducing new languages to the platform, which will be Portuguese and German. Top sellers continue to be from Toronto, Seattle, Australia, Sao Paulo, Columbus, it should be Columbia, Buenos Aires, Ontario, and more. And this quarter, we run this for our participants. Water taxi continues to be, a top. It's very convenient. Thank you to all our partners for that. Again, Brittany was on earlier, our partner engagement specialist. So if we have any partners would like to sign up, please let us know. I know Heiko was on. I want to just take a moment to shout out and say thank you for the feedback towards our ambassador program that Tracy mentioned that will be coming on in the fall. We are actually taking a lot of notes and updated the site, accordingly. All right. And Roger, I think that is it for me.
Yeah, and if I may, I just want to elaborate that Heiko, thank you very much. I don't know if he's still on, but he has really tasked his team there to become Lauderdale Loyalist, and he is doing that very well. So I invite all of you, make it a competition, get your hoteliers, your restaurants on board as well, please. And that'll set you right up to go into the ambassador program when it starts later this fall. And now let's turn it over to Ted.
All right, thank you very much. Let's move forward. Okay, just to kind of recap the first half, January, February were about at expectation. March was really a down month. April, we were expecting it to bounce back more significantly. It did not. So kind of the spring break portion, the later spring break was really kind of a tough time for us. That said, we have bounced back very well. May was kind of a super month, and June has continued that. Again, June is kind of at expectation what we thought the world would look like. Before then, you see RevPAR's up 2, ADR's up 3, a little bit down in occupancy, coming off of a very strong May. Next slide, please. As we move into July, July is continuing the strong roll of looking like we expected it to look at the very, as we headed into 2025 before sort of the economic yo-yo started. The good news about July is sort of, not a lot of people are going to remember this, but in late July last year, there was a big consumer folly. Everyone was afraid and canceling bookings and not making them because of Hurricane Debbie, which was going into the Gulf. So I expect July to outperform because it really killed the last week of July last year. And so where that's horrible when it happens to you, it's great when it's in your comp. Next slide. Okay, year to date is pretty much flat. It's been a roller coaster ride, but to this point, we are looking pretty much the same as 2024. Next slide. My forecast has taken a turn for the worse. That's actually good for everyone in the destination because we are massively outperforming my expectation. I haven't redone it just because I think that there's some economic turbulence potentially to come, or certainly a large danger of that. So again, not proud of the forecast, happy for the result for the destination. Let's go and see my incompetence in graphical form. So as we sort of look at this again, we're outperforming RevPAR expectation. It's across the board, occupancy and ADR. Next slide, please. In terms of the pipeline reports, no big secret. The big news in 2025 is the Omni opening up with its 801 rooms. As you look into the future, not a lot going on in 2026 anymore, and a huge amount of activity in 2027, but it is not yet set in stone. You can see a lot of proposed final planning, limited under construction. So we'll see what comes out, but I would say the supply in our marketplace is being very, very favorable to us because we don't need a whole lot of new hotel rooms over the course of the remainder of 2025 and 2026. I imagine I speak for most hoteliers who are not opening a new hotel on that point. So next slide, please. In terms of performance by region, we're bunched up everywhere, but in the north is struggling a little bit. And it appears to be an occupancy related problem. But again, there's not a lot of standing out here. It's just the declines that we're seeing are coming in the northern region. Next slide, please. In terms of competitive set, you see on overall, go right to the RevPAR, Palm Beach is getting the winter White House bump, and Tampa is, they were overperforming for quite a while. It really was sort of hurricane induced, and it was bound to come down to earth. Everyone else is running together pretty tightly. So again, not a lot of differences that aren't explainable in the competitive set. Next slide, please. In terms of hotel class, we've annualized the malaise in mid-scale and economy in March. So you can see that in an occupancy perspective, it bounced back. Well, they are the mid-scale economy properties are they have juiced their occupancy results by taking it out in rate. On the balance, clearly was a pretty good decision. But again, they had sort of a year of struggles on the lower end, sort of the lower priced properties. But now pretty much everyone else is running together. You can see the trend over the months that say, shout out to all the hoteliers. They make good financial decisions. Look at ADR up there. We've been showing, 2 strong months, and the mechanism that kicks in to say, hey, let's juice ADR a little bit to make sure that our profit is sustainable and we're producing well is good. So again, high praise from me, a revenue management guy, that say what you're doing is working out to the better. So next slide, please. In terms of TDT, nothing to see here. We are running along the same lines. Next slide, please. In terms of Fort Lauderdale, again, the top 3, well, actually, it's no longer the top 3 carriers. Southwest is now the 4th carrier. Delta has supplanted as the number 3 carrier at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. But we have Southwest removal. If you look at the international line, that's Southwest moving its international flying to Orlando, and just some troubles coming to Spirit and other, Spirit, JetBlue, Southwest are sort of finding themselves these days, and it's showing in FLL passenger volume. Next slide, please. Miami, you start to see it coming off of its sort of copying of 2024. But, again, as we get out of season, airlines are seeing weaker demand. For the most part, there's a little bit of a bounce. I think it's somewhat of a dead cat bounce, but that is sort of for a different discussion time. But ultimately, Miami International is bringing passengers to us. We prefer to see it at Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, but we will take what we can get. Next slide, please. Cruise passenger volume keeps cranking it out, breaking the records. So, nothing but smiles there. We have a bigger schedule over the weaker months. So, and a strong schedule heading into the fall. So cruise is only Norwegian is showing a little weakness. Everyone else is pedal to the metal. So yay, cruise. Next slide, please. Visitation. Interesting from a foot traffic perspective. It is declining. It's sort of been every bit all year after January. We're seeing it. It's clearly based on our hotel performance coming out of visiting friends and relatives. So the drop in VFR and potentially a little bit in short-term rentals. But again, we're not seeing it on the high end of the business. We are seeing it in the VFR sector. So again, it's going to cascade through our destinations. You're just not seeing it reflected in the hotel numbers. Next slide, please. Advanced room night build still strong. We are opening up a fabulous revamped convention center with the hotel, etc., and people are booking it. That activity has slowed down of late, but we remain ahead in most years. So next slide, please. And that shout out to, well, at least Hallandale. I think Davey's closing with a flashback diner, but I want to look back at a few things just to remind you of what I believe to be important. Next slide, please. IPW matters. It's basically, it's going to come from a lot of different sources, but in any year, it's like half a boat show. So again, please sign up. Heike was kind enough to put the volunteer link to IPW in the chat. This is really important, even though we're struggling with some international decisions at high levels in the US, we still are expecting a huge amount of economic benefit to the community from IPW. This is a big deal. Next slide, please. And what's helping us in uncertain times? Again, look at the data, keep the conversations going, prioritize where you spend your money. We are working a lot on this. We have sharpened our pencil a lot on it. Just wanted to remind you, it is a road bump because of a lot of things that are happening in the macro environment. We are still committed to this area and we're going to do great things. We just have to get more precise. Next slide, please. What to expect? Next slide, please. Okay, the latest economic data. Inflation is moved up again by 0.3 points. That's CPI-U for urban areas. That is generally the metric that people quote. Unemployment is flat. So don't expect a rate cut in July. As they look more, the Fed looks more long-term, you're probably going to see one in September if you listen to the people who sort of pontificate on that. In terms of Canadian travel, it is declining, or it has declined, and it is declining. It's declining more as we go forward. That said, Canada remains and is our #1 international provider of travelers here. Don't ever lose sight of the fact that they are the 800-pound gorilla of international for us. So again, it's falling, but it's huge. So let's think about that in the decisions that we make. The rest of the world, I am super happy to present that they are largely flat on a year-over-year basis. So that is great news for the destination. That is great news for everybody on the phone. Other good news directionally, recession chance forecasts have gone down from 60-35 to 40-30 from two of the big outlets. There's a third. I haven't sort of gone far enough down that rat hole. Customer confidence. It's off of the lows that we saw in April, May. But it is, I'm sorry, it rebounded. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. It rebounded off of the 12-year lows that we saw early in spring, but May sort of brings back. I think that there's a lot of feedback there between what's happening in the tariff threat world and how customers view things and when they look at the economy. Customer sentiment, it bounced back in June, but it's still off 20% based on what we thought going into the year. And an important point on CPI, so Consumer Price Index, one of the things that I will show you is that inflation is probably worse than the 2.7% up 0.3% shows. Why is that? Because prices for airlines, hotels, new and used autos are all down on a year-over-year basis and down on a corrected basis for that. So basically what's happening is providers are saying, wow, I got to get demand. I got to get demand. I've got to cut my prices until I can get my supply in order. So the core inflation that people are feeling, probably worse because production costs are no better for airlines, hotels, or any maker of autos. So again, something to think about. It's a little worse than it's showing in the macro numbers. I don't like to not spread joy, but that's something that I'm directionally less joyful about. And the leading indicators of discretionary spend, surprise, surprise, airlines, hotels, and new cars are struggling, and that's true even at higher income strata. So next slide, please. And if you don't believe me, here's the travel price index as it comes out. You'll see transportation suffering the most. Lodging is suffering. Recreation costs are going up. I'm suffering in terms of what you're getting. I'm looking at it from a producer standpoint. For a consumer standpoint, hooray for everything. And finally, that's what I've got. So sorry for rushing through so fast, but hey, it's 10:30 and I'm done at least.
Yeah, and I'm afraid we're going to lose, so I'm just going to hurry and go through. We got to notice that we got a few minutes left, but thank you, Ted. Next slide. Reminders. Always remember, we post everything that we do online. You can learn from where we've gone, what we've done, our takeaways. Please go to this site. Next slide. Leisure Lauderdale, follow us, please. Please, please, please follow us. You'll learn about where we are, when we're there, as it's happening. Next slide. Save the date, October 28th for this. Next quarterly meeting will be right at the beginning of our start of the new fiscal. And another save the date for it is our partnership summit, August 14th, 8:30 a.m. This is run by our marketing team. Come and learn about more about IPW 2026. And I just want to do a huge shout out. I think that's the end to everyone. As Hassan said, pivoting and getting online with us on our teams. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A big shout out to the global trade team. You guys are amazing. It's been a fantastic year. We're looking forward to 2026 and hope you'll be partnering with us. So thank you all very, very much. Have a fantastic rest of the week. We made it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Great
Thank
meeting.
you.
Well done.
Bye, everyone. Have a great week.